In today's episode, I begin my huge project, a massive beach with waterfront property. I also need to do something about the horrible lake because it just looks like an utter abyss at the moment. Alright, so as you can see, I have made a start on the coral reef. Basically what I'm doing, I'm going to use one layer of blue for the base, just to make the water look a bit lighter. You can see I have a lot to do. What I'm planning on doing is making sort of like a basin and it'll cascade down. I may as well get building. And get building I did. I started to lay out an informal shape of the basin just to give myself a bit of a reference when building downwards. You can see I started to light it up with sea lanterns because it got surprisingly dark in the water. I think I really severely underestimated how long this project was going to take because this is 10 times speed and it took me 15 minutes to just build what you're seeing here. I then decided it would be a great idea to fill in the entire back wall of blue coral, which took an extremely long time. But as you're about to see, I do think the payoff was absolutely worth it. When I finished building, I thought it would be a good idea to go back and add some extra coral as well as some sea pickles for some natural light. I put the sea pickles all over the back wall. Sorry, it's really funny saying the word sea pickle. I put some sea pickles all over the back wall as well as some seagrass and some extra bigger bits of coral. I thought, seeing as I'm making a made up world right now, it would be absolutely fine to include a coral reef which is not in line with the climatic conditions of my current city. That's absolutely fine because it's my own. Alright, well, this is my first attempt at the first, part of one side. I have a strange feeling this is not going to look very good. Actually, you know what? That doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look rubbish. I think once I expand it a bit further, it'll look nicer. To be honest, I actually don't have a problem with this. I feel like it looks actually kind of nice. It makes the water look a bit lighter anyway. Maybe I should do a bit more like surface coral, because it's all underground. Maybe I made it too deep too soon? I don't know. I don't think that's too bad actually. I like what I've done with the sea pickles, because I made it a natural source of light so I don't have to use sea lanterns or anything like that. Okay, I could get behind this. It actually looked quite nice. The only problem is that it takes ages. Just from there, where my arrow is, to there. Which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, is not a very big part of the lake. But it's a good start, and it's the point that I'll be starting the project off anyway. Oh, I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that. Alright, now what I wanted to do is, I wanted to get rid of all this fence. It doesn't look very good. It just looks too simple. And once I get rid of this, I'll show you what I want to do with this area. Something like this. So a wooden walkway that goes all the way around. Obviously it doesn't just stop there, it'll go all the way around. I don't know what to think of this. I don't mind it. I think it looks good. I think for it to be safe, there needs to be some sort of railing around the outside. As a prototype though, not bad. I don't think it's terrible. So basically this is going to go all the way around and there's going to be some sort of sandy beach here. And there's going to be luxury homes, like with a porch and a tall roof, that kind of thing. They'll look nice, I think. Well, my next mission is to figure out how I'm going to make this look a little bit safer. And I'm actually going to take it right round to the train tracks. I shall be back very shortly, hopefully. Yeah, this bit was not quick, let me tell you. For the most part, it was just painstaking, just doing the same thing over and over again, with the occasional interruption of a horse. Hello. All in all, the whole project did take about 45 minutes to do, but this bit alone was about 15. But I am quite happy with the result. Alright, what do we think? Does that look alright? I tried to just base it off the natural curve of the lake. I think this bit looks a bit weird, a bit wiggly. But the rest of it is probably not bad, actually. So you know how I said last episode I was going to get rid of this dip here and make it water? Well, I've obviously not remembered to do that. But what I might do instead, I might make a little beach area. My city could deal with different climates, surely. It is a made-up city, so maybe there would be, a little beach here, like curving round, matching up with that little corner there. Okay, it's time to do some experimenting then. The majority of this part consisted of mapping out the actual shape of the beach, but once I'd done that, the building process was actually pretty quick. All I did was just use the fill command. It was just a question whether I should shape the beach in a different way or add a bit of layering or something like that, but I thought I could do that as I'm building. I don't need to figure that out now, because once I've got the luxury homes in the way, I can do whatever I want with the beach. Alright, That is the beach built. Okay, that doesn't look brilliant, does it? Actually, I don't know. Maybe I could make that... If I like change the curves a little bit, I can make it like, I don't know, the front yard things of the luxury homes. Oh, okay, that's a good idea. Right, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. This is where the bulk of the time was spent, surprisingly, not even on what I set out to do. I then thought it would be a brilliant idea to expand the road to add a car park on the other side of the beach. Oh my god, this took so long. I was having a really hard time because what I decided to do was build the car park with the shape of the beach. So instead of just making one flat area with an even car park, I decided to make the parking spaces the same shape as the beach, which meant they were all sticking out at different points, which meant that the road I was going to have to build was going to be sticking out as well, which meant that it was going to be extremely difficult to connect it to the other road and get all the road markings right. Oh my god, like, this is an absolute architectural nightmare. I spent the bulk of my afternoon on this. Oh my god, you have actually no idea how long this took me. Oh, I've been recording for 52 minutes, and most of that has been building this road here. I mean, actually, how is it that difficult to build a road? Right, so basically, you can see how the road is curved. I didn't want to just go straight forward because there would be all this space here where I could put a car park. So, I wanted to bend the road a bit so I could add 2 extra spaces at the end. Oh my god, that was the hardest decision of my entire life. I've spent literally probably 45 minutes building this road here. I was trying to go off the curvature of the wood, right? So I was like, okay, I'll put the road in at the very end and then I'll make it all connect up. Putting in these white things was so difficult. I don't know even why. So I was trying to like make it so it was an even distance apart on both sides, matching it up with the wood curvature. I honestly have no clue why it took me 45 minutes to do that, but it has. Oh my god, it was so difficult. Right, I need to move on. I would like to move on. I then dedicated the next 20 minutes of my life to just placing grey blocks. Oh, my fingers are hurting from all this placing. Ow. Alright, that is the car park. There should be 14 or 15 spaces and a big ring road all the way around. Oh my god, that took so long. Now, what do I do with this green bit? I'm thinking maybe a lawn. I then spent a few minutes interlacing some green concrete with the already existing grass to give it a sort of a cut lawn texture, which is something I quite like using in my city. I think it looked really nice at the end. Okay, I think we might be done. Let me just change it to day. Alright, this is what I have come up with so far. Not bad, okay? Don't think it looks terrible. Let's go and have a look at the map and see the difference that I have made today. This is what it used to look like. Literally nothing, completely very barren. I love watching it all come in, it looks really cool. This is what it looks like now. So you can see there is a bit of a difference. I'm liking the size of the beach, to be honest. I think maybe it's a good size. Maybe if I expand it a little bit, like start there and curve out and end about there-ish, and then start building the houses, that could look really nice. I think that's probably a good place to stop. So let's go and get the thumbnail while we're here. Tell you what, let's change the FOV, get a couple of screenshots. Well, that was a really good, productive episode, I think. We got a relatively good amount done. I like the coral quite a lot. I think it looks really nice. The car park probably shouldn't have taken me that long, but I think the beach looks nice. I don't know, it's just a bit flat at the moment. I don't know. I'll think about that in the future. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you later.